This segment has been sponsored by the local Edward Jones office of Lee Colvin. The host of this show and Edward Jones have an existing business relationship. This event is not a testimonial of the services provided by Edward Jones financial advisor Lee Colvin.
Rutherford Issues with Bryan Barrett on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at WGNSradio.com.
Rutherford Issues powered by Middle Tennessee Electric. And big reminder, the 24th Annual Earth Day celebration, Saturday, April 26th, 10 to 2 on the square. The Kid Zone, hands-on activities for the kiddos. Free food like hot dogs, popcorn, and gourmet grilled cheese. Can't beat it. rcearthday.com online. Again, it's on the 26th. Not this Saturday, but next, 10 to 2 on the square. Lee Colvin joins us here in studio, Edward Jones financial advisor. Looking dapper in your tie sweater combo this morning.
Yeah, I thought the high winds would keep the jacket flapping, so I'd wear something a little more tight.
Man, very conscious of you.
Thank you. I try to prepare, plan, and act based on the conditions ahead of me.
Looks like both you and I have been to the barber, too. And looks like the same one. And only knows how to do it one way. Oh, goodness. Well, Lee is here. Comes in every couple of weeks, and we talk about your money and making sense of your money and things of that nature. And today, some of the best ways to pay down debt. That sounds like a good topic.
Don't you love it?
Yeah.
It's a great time. I mean, and what a wonderful time to be talking about this, Brian, when folks may be getting refund checks.
Yeah, today's the big day, isn't it?
This is the day. Thank goodness tax season is coming to an end.
Yeah. This week on the morning show, we've been doing songs on Uncle Sam's playlist.
Oh, nice.
Today was Taxman, the Beatles,
Absolutely.
Should be a little money in there somewhere, right?
That's right. Hey, it's not over yet. You still got time. Well, but it's we figure we'd go ahead and bring this as an idea and a thought today because, the question is, Brian, are folks concerned about debt? Are they concerned about their debt?
Sure.
And it's important to recognize this, but at the same time, you may have more ways of gaining control of your debt situation than many folks may realize. So we just wanted to bring that to individuals' attention. If you don't mind, I'll just say to begin with, it's good to know that not all debts are bad.
Okay. That was one of the things I was thinking.
Yeah.
Is it?
After all, your mortgage provides you with a place to live. A car loan can provide transportation. Student loans may have helped get your career up and running or get you where you wanted to be in a career. So, in fact, the wise use of debt can be a key part of your overall financial strategy for many.
But, maybe we're talking to people who are worried about some of the debt. You have an interesting statistic here. About 60% of Americans say they're struggling with debt right now. So that's why we're kind of talking today about the best ways to pay down debt. 4 key points that we're going to kind of bring to you this morning, or Lee will. Knowing your debt, looking for restructuring opportunities, determining how much money will go into debt payments, and prioritizing your debts. So maybe these steps will help us in case folks out there who may be struggling a little bit. So why don't we hit the first key point here, knowing your debt.
Let's talk about it, folks. So, one, I would go back to the old KISS,
keep it
philosophy.
Simple, silly.
Absolutely. And start by creating a list that includes your mortgage, your auto loans, your student loans, any medical debt, credit card debt, and any installment purchases that you've made. Then add up the total amount that you owe and calculate your debt to income ratio by dividing your total monthly debt payments by your gross monthly income. Now, Brian, for revolving debt such as credit cards, use the minimum payments in this calculation. Some people say, oh, well, this is the minimum, but this is what I pay. No, add up using the minimum for this calculation alone. Ideally, you'd like to have a debt-to-income ratio below 35% if you have a mortgage, or 20% if you don't.
Okay. So that's the first key thing, knowing your debt, how much debt's there. You've got the percentages and things, as we talk about with Lee Colvin, Edward Jones financial advisor, about finding the best ways to pay down debt. Looking for restructuring opportunities. I'm interested to hear what you have to say about restructuring your debt.
Yes, so by restructuring debt, you may be able to pay it down more quickly. You can do this by refinancing debts, perhaps by transferring credit card debt to a new card with a low introductory rate, or by replacing your mortgage or auto loan with one that carries a lower rate. You might also consider swapping debts, possibly by using secured debt such as a home equity loan or a securities-based lending to pay off higher rate unsecured loans. Or you could also consolidate debt by using secured debt to pay off several high interest debts, or transferring multiple credit card debts into one new card with a lower rate and minimal transfer fees.
Okay. So some definite good points there about restructuring, ways to pay down debt. The third point, determining how much money will go to debt payments. So that's a big key.
Always, right? How much am I going to pay? And you do have some latitude as to how much money you'll devote to paying debts each month. To avoid incurring late fees or other penalties, you'll definitely need to make the minimum payment, as we were talking about with credit cards and other debts. And this means a flat amount for some loans, such as your mortgage, and a percentage of the outstanding balance on other debts, especially your credit cards. But after you've paid the minimum, you can also choose to pay more. I know, novel idea. But you can choose to pay more, which can shorten the life of the debt and reduce total interest charges, right? Or you can use the money for other goals, such as saving for your retirement or your children's education.
Well, definitely several really great points there, especially, you can pay more than the minimum on your debts. That's how you kind of eliminate some of those. But prioritizing debts, this is a biggie. I guess, do you go biggest to largest, or largest to smallest, smallest to largest? How do you kind of prioritize that? So maybe your points on that.
Sure. So, and you're exactly right, folks. You would think that he has listened to Dave Ramsey or Clark Howard or many of the other consumer advocates out there,
or Lee Colvin,
who we have trusted through the years on WGNS. But yeah, we with Edward Jones, we're going to bring similar philosophies, and in that, if you can make extra payments on your debt, it's helpful to prioritize those. And now you could choose several methods. One is the avalanche method, and that's by paying the debt with the highest interest rate first. Or you could instead follow the snowball method by first tackling the debt with the lowest balance first. Now, the avalanche technique can help you minimize interest payments, while the snowball approach can actually give you almost more of a psychological boost, Brian, because by reducing the overall number of debts you're carrying, it could result in you paying more interest over time, though. So while the snowball, you're hitting those small debts sooner, you're seeing, satisfaction and gratification in paying those down. It can cause you a little bit more interest in the long run.
It could lead to an avalanche in you paying off debts and getting excited about it, so there are definitely different methods on that, for sure. But, Leah, I think what we've learned today and kind of the underlying tone of what we've been talking about, debts just probably are a fact of life for a lot of people.
It definitely can be a fact of life, but it's truly like anything else in life. It's about managing it wisely, and life can be a lot less stressful if you do that.
Well, maybe you're out there saying this is stressful and I need some help. Want to talk to somebody about this. And Lee, you or any of the great Edward Jones financial advisors here in town would be most happy to talk with folks about this too, I'm sure.
Brian, we're always wanting to reach out. We're always wanting to lend a hand, and folks can always reach out to us. Again, I always try to offer my phone number just as one landing spot. You can call 615-907-7056. Again, that's 615-907-7056. Or you can find me on Lee Colvin, Edward Jones on Facebook, or Lee Colvin, Edward Jones on LinkedIn. Reach out to us. We'd love to find out your needs for you and your family, your concerns, and fit you with the right advisor here in the Murfreesboro or Rutherford County area that may be a best or most help to you based on your situation.
Very good. Lee Colvin joining us here this morning, Edward Jones financial advisor, and you'll want to check the podcast if you came in a bit late. It'll be up shortly at WGNSradio.com under podcast and Rutherford Issues. Have a great day, everybody. See you next time.